Matthew Stuckey here from Verity Baptist Church Philippines. Just giving you a quick missionary update for the month of March 2022. So for March 2022, we had a total of 899 salvations. I wish I could report to you 900. I thought about just maybe adding one, and maybe one of the people I talked to that didn't quite get it, I could just say, well, maybe they got it afterwards or something. But we ended at 899. We're pleased with those results. It's not the highest month we've ever had. The last couple months have actually been the highest we've had. But in March, we didn't have any special soul winning events outside of our normal all-day soul winning on Saturdays. There weren't any special holidays for the month of March, but we're still very pleased with that, 899 salvations between our ministries. And next month in April is probably going to be our biggest month, or at least I hope it is. Last year for the week of Easter, we set our record for souls saved in a week. And although we've broken our record for souls in a month, that week from last year during Easter week is still our official top week we've had. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in this video, trying to encourage you to be a part of the soul winning events in April. But for some of the big sermons that I preached, some of the ones I was excited about, I preached through Bible Contradictions Part 1, and I went through some of the famous, some of the tricky contradictions. So you can check that sermon out. Mythical creatures in the Bible, I talked about dragons, and the cockatrice and unicorns and various creatures that come up in the Bible, and showed you what I believe they are and whether they are still in existence or not, which kind of depends on which animal we looked at. I talked about how to motivate your family was one of the sermons to serve God, which is something that's commonly asked by people who are excited for God. How do I get the rest of my family to want to serve God? And I also preached a sermon, Depart From Me, I Am a Sinful Man, from the story of Peter, where basically he felt guilty after he lacked faith in Jesus. And I explained how everybody is going to feel like that sometimes, and that humility is a good thing. You just can't allow that to stop you from serving God. And so the other big event we had, I guess we did have one big event in March, and that was a baptism event we had at our church in Pampanga. So our church in Pampanga, we do not have a baptistry. We do not have a big enough space in order to hold one. And we've wanted to do baptisms for a while, but with various COVID rules, there's no real place to rent out a pool or whatever. But eventually we just kind of decided, we looked around, and some of the local places just opened up to allow events at pools. And so we rented a resort and basically made it an all-day event. We did baptisms, preached the sermons there, and then we just had fellowship there afterwards. So we had 7 baptisms in Pampanga, which was great success, and I'm sure we'll do it again in the future once we have more people to get baptized. Other than that, though, I just want to kind of highlight some things going on coming up. In April, as I said, it's our big soul winning week. Easter week is the big week, and so that's next week. And last year we partnered with a lot of different churches, specifically in the Philippines, but other parts of Asia and the Middle East, to do our Soul Winning Mega Marathon. This is a great tradition that was started by like-minded pastors several years ago in the United States, and a lot of crazy things have happened with COVID and stuff, and so it's kind of changed a lot of different things. But it's a tradition we wanted to keep going here in the Philippines, and we're making it kind of Wednesday through Sunday, counting soul winning results. And the reason is because it's a huge several-day holiday here. It's a great time to go soul winning, and so we're kind of counting up all of our results, hoping to set a record. We're also trying to encourage other like-minded ministries and like-minded people and to be a part of that event. Now, of course, if you're part of a church and they have an event that they're doing, because obviously Easter is one of the biggest services, if not the biggest service of the year, get on board with whatever your church is doing, whatever outreach they're doing, whatever they're planning. Just get on board with what your local church is doing. But we kind of started this because there are a lot of other churches in our area that we could try to help motivate or partner with, trying to help people find like-minded soul winners. So we're going to do it again this year, and I'm excited about it. Many churches and ministries and people have said that they're going to be a part of it, and let me know if you want to be a part of that. Specifically, we're looking at Asia and the Middle East, because I understand in other places, such as in Europe, they've got a great church there now that's probably planning a lot of events. Obviously in the U.S. and in North America, they've got a lot of events. Of course, any churches that want to be a part of it, that would be great. We don't mind counting the results, but just definitely get on board with what your local church or ministry is doing. But if you want to be a part of that, let me know. We're hoping to have great results here in Asia And in some countries it's gotten strict again. Here in the Philippines, not as bad as it was. So we're excited about that and looking forward to big results. Other than that, on a personal level, just a few things to pray for. My wife and I, we just celebrated 7 years of marriage. We had our 7-year anniversary, so we're excited about that. And we are preparing for our 3rd child to be born. And so probably in May, my wife has always delivered a little bit early from what the expected due date is. The expected date they gave us was June 4th, but we are anticipating the baby being born probably in May. And so we're excited about that. It's coming up very quickly, and God has definitely blessed us in a great way. So just be in prayer for us about that, and continue to pray for our ministry. And thank you, and God bless.